So these are the top 3 reasons that you actually should not buy the new Echelon 4.0C by Springfield Armory. Welcome back to the Muzzle Broke channel, everybody. And I know last week, Springfield Armory just released their new Echelon 4.0C, their new subcompact handgun that everyone's claiming is going to replace the Glock 19. Well, I'm really here today to tell you, don't be a sheep. All of these infomercial gun tubers get these guns for free sent by Springfield Armory and in return are expected to provide a good review of the Echelon 4.0C. I just got done watching a good handful of YouTuber reviews of this weapon system, and no one really had anything negatively to say. And there's a reason for that. These super trendy infomercial gun tubers are sent weapons for free. And if you're getting a weapon sent to you for free, you don't want to burn a bridge with a big company, especially someone like Springfield Armory, because you want to keep getting more free guns. So I'm making this video today to kind of play devil's advocate and be a little bit counterculture to what everyone's saying about the new Echelon 4.0C. Obviously today, I don't have an Echelon 4.0C in my hand, so you know I didn't get sent one for free. And that's kind of one of the benefits to watching a small channel like mine, because I'm not going to bullshit you. I get nothing for free, I'm not sponsored, so I'm going to give you my honest opinion. Now, before filming this video, I did head up to my local range and shoot side by side a Glock 19 and the Echelon 4.0C. So we're going to get right into my top 3 reasons I actually don't think you should buy the new Echelon subcompact weapon. So the number 3 reason I'm going to tell you not to buy the new Echelon is the aftermarket support. Glocks in general, and specifically the Glock 19, which is supposedly going to be replaced by the new Echelon, have been around for years. And although older weapons aren't always better, the aftermarket support for the Glock handguns is insane. There are so many different holster options, slide options, frame options, trigger options. I mean, the list truly goes on forever. And that's a huge benefit to having a weapon system like the Glock 19. It's super easy to find a holster that fits your body type, and it's super easy to substitute parts that may not just work for you. And it's super easy to find better upgraded parts that you specifically want in your handgun. And with a new weapon system such as the Echelon 4.0C, that's just not going to be the case. Now, that's not a dig against the weapon system itself or Springfield Armory, but it's definitely something to think about. Whenever I get a new weapon system, I really enjoy going through and changing out dang near all of the parts. This is Glock 17 Gen 3 that I've pretty much built from the ground up, changed the barrel, muzzle device, slide, optics plate, iron sights, trigger, frame. Pretty much everything on this gun is an aftermarket part. And with a new gun on the market like the Echelon 4.0C, you're just not going to be able to do that. I know some of the Echelon parts are Glock compatible, but the big one that's not is going to be the holsters. Now, I know Springfield is working a little bit with Safariland to come up with some holsters for this gun, but you're not going to be able to go on Amazon and get 800 holster options that you could try out and pick the one that you like the best. So when we're directly comparing aftermarket compatibility between the Glock 19 and the new Echelon, the winner is absolutely the Glock 19. There's so many more parts available for you to pimp out your gun to your liking. So that's going to bring us to my number 2 reason I don't think you should buy the new Springfield Echelon, and that's going to be because this weapon system is completely untested. Now, I know you've seen a couple of the YouTube infomercial gun tubers shoot the Echelon and give a couple 100-round review on it, and hey, you know, that's great. But because this weapon's so new, we're not getting 1,000-round reviews. We're not getting 2,000-round reviews. We're not getting 1 year and 2,000-round reviews. It's just not possible this early on. And for me, to buy a weapon system that I'm potentially going to be concealed carrying or using in a self-defense situation, to have a weapon that hasn't really been reliability tested long-term is a huge red flag. Again, when we're directly comparing the new Echelon to that Glock 19, there's really just no comparison in reliability, and we'll almost call it like long-term case studies, right? The Glock 19 has been used for years and years and years at this point, and it absolutely has a well-earned reputation of being a reliable and functional handgun, even with long-term use. And that's something the Echelon 4.0C just can't boast. This weapon's really only been out on the market for a couple of weeks, and the infomercial gun tubers have only shot a handful of rounds through it. So there's really no way to 100% with confidence say that this gun is going to work very well, reliably, long-term. And hey, if you're just buying the Echelon as a range toy, go for it, man. It's your money, enjoy the gun. But if you're new to the gun scene and just looking for a good, solid, concealed carry option, the Glock 19 has the advantage in reliability. It just does. It's been used for years, and it's going to be reliable. And we can't really say the same for the new Echelon. So that's going to bring me to kind of my number 1 reason why I don't think you should buy the new Echelon 4.0C. And I'm kind of going to encompass this by saying cost per value. As far as cost goes, you can get a Glock 19 Gen 5 MOS for essentially the exact same price as the new Echelon. Both guns are going to run you $650 to buy new out of the box. And that's not a terrible price, but when we really kind of dive essentially back into our first 2 points, the Glock 19 just runs away with it. If I'm looking at two guns that are exactly the same price, and I have one gun that has a huge aftermarket support system and another gun that doesn't have that aftermarket support system, and I'm looking at a gun that's been in service for years and years and has proven long-term reliability, and comparing that to a gun that just doesn't, a gun that's recent on the market and most people haven't ran long-term reviews on, obviously the cost per value is going to go to that Glock 19 directly compared to the Echelon. For that same $650, you can grab a Glock 19 that has a ridiculously large aftermarket support and that you know is going to be reliable both short-term and long-term. And again, I've shot both of these guns side by side. To be incredibly honest, they shoot the same. They're both subcompact 9mm handguns. They're a little snappy, the recoil's manageable, it's kind of what you would expect in a subcompact 9mm gun. As far as the overall shooting experience, to be incredibly honest, I'm not going to give the edge to either one of them. So that's when we kind of come down to cost per value. I'm giving it to the Glock 19. Now, again, I'm playing devil's advocate in this video. I have no beef with the Echelon. I have no beef with the Echelon 4.0C. I have no beef with Springfield Armory at all. But it really kind of does piss me off a little bit when you see all of these new reviews for new guns from these infomercial gun tubers that get their guns sent to them for free, and no one has a negative thing to say about the new gun. When videos like that are posted, it really just irritates me a little bit because I don't think these guys would be 100% honest with you. And again, the benefit for me being a small channel, I'm not sent any free guns and I'm not sponsored. So I'm giving it to you straight, no bullshit. I've shot the Echelon 4.0C. I don't think it's a shitty gun. I don't think there's any issues with it. But because it doesn't have great aftermarket support and because it doesn't have long-term reliability studies, I really do think that for the cost per value, you should get a Glock 19 and just be done with it. Again, it's your money, it's your guns, spend them how you want. I don't think the Echelon 4.0C is a totally terrible option. But the point of this video was to really just give you some things to think about, because I know before this, you've watched 800 videos of all the infomercial gun tubers say that the Echelon 4.0C is the best thing to ever happen to America, that it's killed the Glock 19, and that it's hands down the best new EDC option. And again, I'm just here today to give the counter argument to that and give you some things to think about before you go spending $650 and get scammed by some other gun tubers that got their gun for free. Alrighty boys, I appreciate you watching this video. If you like this kind of content, please go ahead and subscribe to the Muzzle Bro channel. I would really appreciate it. And if there's ever anything you want me to rant about online, go ahead and drop me a comment. I'd be more than happy to do it for you. Again, I'm not sponsored. I'm not getting anything for free, so your subscribe really does mean a lot to me. All right, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll catch you on the flip side.